This year, Texas has had 10 Amber Alerts. That's honestly fairly normal for our state, but it would be fairly unusual in any other. And there's a recent study out that's raising a lot of questions, wondering whether our state, Texas, is sending too many text alerts. I-Team's Andre Lucia here with us again tonight. With the efforts to find a solution, some people call this notification fatigue.
Yes, and notification fatigue can have devastating consequences, not just for missing children. The National Weather Service uses the same wireless emergency alert system to send warnings about flash floods and tornadoes in your area. And it is mindful that the more often you hear that jarring tone that the alerts make, the more likely you are to ignore them.
We are at my mom's, as we always do. 4th of July spent on the river.
Alice Claiborne was up feeding her baby when she heard the screech.
My phone was going off.
It was just after 1 in the morning and she was headed to bed. So in a move she'd later reconsider, she ignored the alert coming across her phone.
The first 2 times I just thought it was an Amber Alert. I mean, just like I have 3 kids, they've gone off multiple times like normal. Like they go off often, especially in Texas. So you get used to the sound.
Claiborne was along the Guadalupe River that night, and unknown to her, in the midst of what would become one of our country's deadliest flash flooding events. By the time her family realized what was happening, it was too late to evacuate.
We were trapped for a couple of days, and that was okay. Like, we were fine.
Claiborne's family survived just out of the water's reach. More than 100 others, many of them children, died. And she's spent many hours since wondering what could have made a difference.
Knowing that that was an imminent weather danger versus thinking maybe it's an Amber Alert, maybe it's just annoying, like, alarm that's going off, that would have, I think, changed some people's thoughts on like what they did that night.
Claiborne is right. Amber Alerts are common here, far more than in any other state. In 2024, Texas issued a record 54. That same year, the research group RAND published its study of wireless emergency alerts, the system that sends Amber Alerts to your phone. It found states issuing the most also had the people most likely to opt out of them, and other emergency alerts too. And Texas? It was at the top of the list. What was your reaction to learning that Texans have the highest opt-out rate in the country?
Well, I was dismayed.
State Representative Drew Darby sits on a select committee formed in response to the Central Texas floods. Even those who aren't opting out of alerts, he learned, are often tuning out, like Claiborne.
We heard story after story of folks who heard an alarm in the dead of the night. They would simply go back to sleep or ignore it to their own peril.
He filed a bill last year that would have formed a group to study statewide alert systems and the impact of notification fatigue. It didn't pass, but this coming year, he hopes to try again.
You hear all the bings and buzzers and sounds, and we just have technological overload, if you will, and we want the experts to take a look at it and come up with recommendations.
In an op-ed for the Houston Chronicle, Claiborne offered a suggestion, making the tone for an Amber Alert different from warnings of immediate public threats.
I do think they should be 2 distinct, separate sounds.
Darby says he's open to that and other ideas, because having people tune out when lives are in danger,
that may be understandable, but I don't think it should be acceptable.
Yeah, another suggestion that we have heard is having fewer statewide alerts and more localized ones. Data from the National Center for Missing and Endangered Children found most children featured in Amber Alerts are recovered within 50 miles of where they went missing. Often, though, they're just within 10 miles. Those regional alerts here in Texas are known as Athena Alerts. They're named after Athena Strand, who we've been covering this week with her killer, the man who pled guilty to murdering her, on trial and facing the death penalty.
Yeah, it's funny that she mentioned the 2 different, or multiple different tones. I think that's an interesting avenue, obviously, to go down. At the same time, are certain cities or counties more likely than others to issue an Amber Alert?
Yeah, we looked into that. I looked into Amber Alert data for the last 9 or so years, and the top user in Texas has been the San Antonio Police Department. Coming in at number 2 is actually the Bexar County Sheriff, which is also based in San Antonio. So a lot of them coming from that area. Dallas and Austin Police tied for 3rd with 10 alerts, about 1 a year. Houston Police, which oversees the state's largest city, you would think would have the most, it only had 2 in all of that time.
Very fascinating, in-depth, and we'll see what the future holds with this. Maybe there will be something done. Andrea, thank you.